Yeah, that's kind of what I feel. Like
Yeah.
I feel like when I talk to a lot of people, even around here, right? They're like, "What are you doing?" And then they have this inquisitiveness and like excitement, like they want to do it too, but there's like some standoffish that they're like, "Ah, not quite there. Doesn't quite make sense." And I'm like, "Just do it."
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Buying a House in Japan. I'm your host, Joey, joined by my co host, Take. Today, we've got a special guest, Take.
Oh yeah, we got Erik Buhrow. We talked to you, Eric, what, like about in January, February,
Yeah, so it's maybe spring. Yeah,
spring? Okay. And
yeah,
he's one of, I guess, our first folks that we've kind of helped through the process. We recently created a program called Aki Mart Direct. Eric, you were actually like right before that. You're kind of our pilot guinea pig before we didn't tell you you're a guinea pig, but I think you have successfully purchased a house. You
yeah.
mind giving us a quick intro on yourself, Eric?
I'm Eric. I live in Minnesota and with my wife Beth and a small dog. And we
Okay.
just bought a house in Niigata, Prefecture. It's about 30 minutes outside of Niigata city center. And background on me, I grew up in Japan for about 20 years of my life, my young adulthood. And now I do construction in Minnesota. And so I'm just looking to get back to my roots and do some more construction.
Whew, that's where we hit the air horns. Don't have the air horn thing
Bam,
right now.
bam.
We're
Well,
like, I don't-
big congratulations on the house, Eric.
Thank you. Yeah,
Whew.
it was not difficult. It was just you're wondering, like, am I doing the right thing the whole way? Right.
Totally.
But
Yep.
yeah, you get to the finish line,
Exactly.
you're like, yeah, all right, next steps. Utilities. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've got keys, or Yoshi's got the keys. So for people listening, was the agent that helped Eric here. Again, as Take said before the AkiyaMart Direct program, this was just a lead. We
Yeah.
passed Yoshi at that time, but yeah, how was your experience, Eric? You got the keys, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Yoshi. He's getting my keys and then he's mailing me the deed and the keys at the same time. So he's waiting
Okay.
for that paperwork to get processed for it to get recorded. Yeah. And then he's got the house insurance set up.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want me to share you some numbers?
Yeah. I
'Cause
mean, if you're okay.
they're shocking. I love
Okay.
it.
All right.
I
We-
paid $2,500 for 5 years of home insurance for fire and earthquake for $200,000 worth of coverage. So
200,000?
yeah, so the rebuild covered, right?
Piece of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm essentially paying $500 a year, actually a little less. And then housing taxes are $183 annually. So less $700.
Okay. And how much was your house? What was the final price?
I'm working a spreadsheet and everything,
Okay.
so it's
Cool.
all along, but the advertised price was, I think 22,000, give or
Okay.
take with exchange rate. By the time we got all done, Yoshi negotiated a little bit of money off that. And then there was naturally scrivener fees, transaction fees, all those fees you guys have covered in previous episodes.
Yep.
Came out to $26,000 and some coinage for 3,000, roughly 3,000 square foot home, koi pond in the front, and a big
Oh.
old garden in the back, right? Two car
Oh,
garage.
all
So
right.
yeah, no, I got a
All
smile on my
right.
face. Like what?
Oh,
That's
geez. What? That's
Koi
awesome. So
pond. I didn't know
when
about
are,
the koi pond.
yeah.
yeah. When are you going to go check it out? Have you seen it in person? No, right?
I have not seen it in person. I
Oh
did
no.
everything
Okay.
via Yoshi, video call and everything. He's wonderful, and now he's handling the property management side, so
Okay.
that's super helpful. I'm planning on going to visit as soon as we have utilities and things like that, so that way we can do the vehicle transaction because it
Mhm.
is a little farther from the city center. We really want to have the vehicle when we go to see it. And that way I can order the dumpster. Yoshi already said he would order the dumpster. Yoshi said he would work with the local shrine, the
The shrine.
yeah,
Mhm.
to get it blessed before we
Oh,
yeah, we wanted
I like that.
Shinto Shrine's gonna come in, do his
okay.
thing, make sure we get all those.
Did
those,
Yoshi
um,
suggest this, or did you come up with this idea? Or
I asked Yoshi if
Okay.
he could arrange it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, there's the shrine is like 3 houses down, and they'd be probably more than happy." So
Wow. That's the first time we should do that for all our properties, Joe.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Just
right.
like
That's
yeah.
not a bad idea. All right, Eric,
And
let's
it gives it like that, like it's starting into that community and you want to be a
Yes.
part of that area. So
Yeah. All right, rewinding the clock a little bit. So you
yeah.
are born yeah, sorry, where are you born? And then you said 20 years in Japan, is that right?
Yeah, I was born in Germany on military
Okay.
base,
Oh,
but
wow.
then I grew up in I shortly thereafter moved to Okinawa and
Okay.
had some years in Okinawa. I was still Akachan baby, and then moved to Misawa, Aomori Prefecture, and all the way into college. I even took some college years when I was in Aomori on and off the base, you know.
Mhm,
So I grew up around a military base, but with so many years in one city and by a
mhm.
military base, you start to yeah, it's a blend of cultural background. That's the best way to say
It
it.
Yeah, I'm curious why you picked Niigata Prefecture. I will say that's rare for a lot of our clients. Was that because of your experience in the Tohoku region or
You nailed it. It's rare. I don't like to follow the path of everybody else. I really like the architecture, but of the southern homes. So
Mhm.
Tohoku region of Honshu is the northern half of Honshu. That's where I'm used to because there's snow and snowboarding and everywhere has 4 seasons, but I think that that region has the best 4 seasons apart from Hokkaido. Hokkaido's pretty awesome,
Mhm.
but it's extra snowy there and it's different, little different to get to. But so I was able to get the beautiful architecture that I love in Southern style Japanese homes, but they're like tile roofs and things like that. And but then still be in an area where I'm 20 minutes from a racetrack. I love cars. So it's 20 minutes from a racetrack. I mean, 9 minutes from a golf course, 5 minutes from the beach, and I'm within 2 hours of like 10 world-class ski resorts. So
Nice. Sold.
yeah, so
Sold.
and then the cherry on top is the fact that it's a very unique Sea of Japan side is very unique in Japan. Less, I guess you could say, explored or
Mhm.
really westernized and marketed towards anybody outside of Japan. So I feel like it's more conducive to my learning the language.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree with that. How I was in Japan for 6 years, never once did I go up to the Sea of Japan side, so
Exactly.
you're on the right track if you're trying to get off the beaten path.
Yep.
Eric, I'm curious what was, like, the catalyst for you you spent a lot of time in Japan. Were you just, like, one day, like, you saw it on Instagram or, what made
Oh,
you kind of go down this path?
dude, my wife and I go back. We've been back a couple times, and we always enjoy it. I obviously, no surprise for me that I enjoy it. And then I've been watching the Instagram pictures and homes and things like that.
Mhm.
I followed it for so long, and then eventually I was just like, all right, I gotta message these guys. Like,
Yeah.
what do we gotta do? Like, what is the process? And I've always understood that it was even living there, it was kind of always taught to us that it's next to impossible to ever own anything in Japan.
Mm, okay.
And it was kind of like I don't know if it was a rumor, but just an understanding of like, oh no, you're a foreigner. You can't own land. And it was always the idea was you could buy a house, but you couldn't own the land.
Mhm.
So we kind of like, I think I've always given it up and just assumed, oh, it's not for me. I can't do it. And now I run my own business. So I think I have a little bit more ability to, hey, go out and try something. And
Mhm.
then if I fail, it's still an adventure along the
Yep.
way. And if you approach life as like, there is not, there is no real failure because when you fail, you learn. And if you approach life in that aspect, I think you'll get to experience more. So,
Right on. You hit the nail on the head. I think that you're kind of the right person to buy. We talked to a lot of different people, but at the end of the day, I think the people that are looking to buy an Akia is for like the adventure side is
yeah,
where I think is the best fit. You don't know kind of what you're going to get, but I think you learned a lot and there's no failure, especially at this
yeah.
price point, like I don't know what we can afford. I don't know how much
Everything's
stuff. Yeah.
different for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
But but you can't, as long as you can purchase it right
Yep.
outright,
Mhm.
then you're obviously not going to go bankrupt because you already own it.
Yep.
And then you have, I mean, I live in Minnesota where people buy cabins up north and they go up
Mhm.
north to their cabin. And everybody that grew up around here either has a cabin or has a friend with a cabin or has parents with a cabin. The cabin, I don't want a cabin. And
You got a cabin
I'm
in
like, this
Japan.
there's yeah, that's the probably the biggest thing.
That's awesome, man.
Gosh,
That you showed them. You own the land. It's gonna be blessed. You own the house. You have insurance.
I
You set up.
it has an air conditioner. I
There you
forgot
go.
that when I lived up north, so 'cause it's a little
Cool.
hotter in the south, yeah.
I remember when we chatted with you, something that I see your username's Eric's Garage here. So talk to us about the cars. It seems like you're attracted to Japan for maybe some of the
Oh,
cars, or
for the
what's your
automotive
fascination there? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I grew up in Misawa, and there's a port city called Hachinohe not too far away, and you grow up going to Hachinohe at night, Friday and Saturday night, go to Lawson's, you hang out,
Okay.
and you wait, and then Japanese people kinda, like, lead the you go to where the port is, and there's 4 lanes, and you drag race along the port, and you drift at the empty port, like, concrete pad, and I grew up being a hooligan in Japan with Japanese, but you literally and then cops would come, they put the lights on, everybody would run, leave, go to Lawson's. They don't really speed away, they just drive way back to Lawson's. You sit there, you wait, police know you're at Lawson's,
What?
and then maybe, like, 30 minutes later, after everybody's had some tea and hung out at Lawson's, checked out each other's cars with Japanese people, then you go back, and you do
Okay.
it all over again. And so my
So funny.
I grew up with cars, obviously, and I have an automotive science degree, and that's what I love collecting and driving and enjoying. So that's just one aspect of the multitudes of Japan that I enjoy. So
So, what car are you buying? You mentioned you're getting a car.
Odd question.
What car are you getting?
What
and so
cars?
right now we're trying to do something somewhat practical. So when other people come and stay at our place, they can stay without me there and drive it. So it is automatic, but it's just
Uh,
a Subaru Legacy station wagon, but STI WRC edition
let's
with
go.
blue, the classic
Yeah.
blue. Yeah. And it's
Gold
like,
rims.
yeah, it doesn't have them, but they
Yeah.
will be there.
Yeah, well,
We got the we got the glow license plate. So we bought a minivan in
Oh, heck
Tokyo, Toyota Estima. I think it's the Previa in North America. But
yeah.
we got the glow license plate. What would you have any thoughts on the glow license plate? And we also got the personalized plates. We got 777 Thomas City, triple
So
spire.
lucky. So lucky. I actually have a glow license plate on 2 of my cars here in the US. So, I love glow plates, right? And one is a '67 Datsun Roadster, so, like,
like
old
the
school
dots.
Japanese car, and then I have a '99 that I imported this year, '99 Nissan Silvia, and that one has the glow plates, and yeah, I
So
mean, gotta
yeah.
have
So what's the process been? I know you don't have a car yet. So I was actually through the car buying process as a foreigner in Japan once before, but I'm curious what your process has looked like so far.
I'm working with Nippon Bridge.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Ziv. We're
Yeah,
talking
So
yeah.
later.
That's who
yeah,
we bought. That's who helped us as well.
okay. Yeah, and so, I think maybe it depends on the different dealership that you pick, but I went and faxed my contract to purchase today, and I scanned and emailed before, and
Faxed.
they were like, "No,
Oh,
we want it faxed." So, I went
oh,
to DHL place to fax it to Japan today for $20. I was like, "This is so weird." But so nonetheless, I faxed it today, and I guess and because 'cause I'm hoping that well, I'm not hoping. They said that they would hold it until I get my utilities and everything in line so that I can purchase it, but they said I have to go to, like, a registrar's office in Niigata to register it in my name, and I was
Yep.
obviously, I'm here, and I was hoping that I could basically just show up with both keys, car and house, and just drive and walk in, but it sounds like I might have to go there for that instead of
Yeah.
having see, Yoshi had me do a power of attorney for the
mhm.
house, and so I was hoping for the same thing with the car. It's kind of funny that you have to go to Japan, finalize the car,
But not for the house.
but not a house. Yeah.
Yeah. So my understanding is that it comes down to the parking spot. So they care a lot
Mhm.
that there is a parking spot for this vehicle. So obviously you're going to use your home's driveway, and so they want to prove that you own the house, and they want a utility bill to attach your name to the house. I don't know why they can't use the title, but they're looking
Right.
for utility bill. And take the utility bill to a notary public. They notarize it with an affidavit saying, "Okay, yes, this is you. You
This
own
is
the
your
house,
house.
this address, and here's a
This has
utility
2
bill to
parking
prove it."
spots.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's that's what I was, and I think Yoshi was trying to help too because I included him with the conversation with his and he was like, "Hey, I'll give you I can show you like the address and the documentation if we could avoid the utility bill," but it
Mhm.
doesn't. So, so
Dang. Hopefully you get that car, but want to throw,
there's a
want to throw,
bunch of them. So
yeah, want to throw a fun question here.
yeah.
What's your dream car you're going to buy in Japan? What's the next, whatever, doesn't, just for yourself.
Mm, honestly, I don't know. I was actually hoping to go to the track a handful of times
Okay.
and make some friends and maybe find somebody that is looking to get out of their track car and
Okay.
just get into one of theirs or something like that. That way, I've made some of my best friends buying and selling cars throughout my
Okay.
life. So it's kind of, yeah, it's more of an opportunity to meet somebody that, I mean, cars got fit, but that's kind of not too hard.
Totally.
Um,
Let me, after this conversation, I'm going to introduce you to my friend Ken Melikar. He actually helped us buy our car in Tokyo. He bought it on Mercari for us, and he he checked it out for us. And he does a lot of this, does a lot of street race or does a lot of track racing. So
oh, yeah,
he's always rotating through cars. So I'll intro him into you. He's
nice.
a good resource. He might have something for you.
Yeah, it was kind
Um,
of a little, are you guys familiar with the JCI? At least that's what I used to call it.
JCI, no.
We so
Compulsory
I call it
insurance.
JCI, but it's the Japanese compulsory insurance.
Oh,
The
yeah.
the insurance on the car to be on the road for like 2 years or whatever.
Mhm.
That was the thing I was wondering like, "Hey, who can check out the car? Who can do these things?" And they're like, "Oh, no, we just, like, talk to them. We're not gonna test drive the car or anything." And I
Yeah.
think it's in Chiba, I think, but because I was trying to make it so that the car is, like, in Tokyo area or Niigata area, in that area. I didn't wanna buy a car in Hokkaido. So
We were thinking about that service, just spitballing here. We help people buy the Akiya that we have a car ready for them at the Narita parking lot. Is that
yeah.
kind of the dream? Like you land, you drive your car to your house kind of thing?
You nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was kinda what I was trying to achieve, right? So that way, yeah, we could land, whether it's at the parking lot or somewhere else, or even at the dealership. If they
Mhm.
held it at the dealership, I was not opposed to that and paying the storage for it. Just land, then get settled, stay one night in Tokyo or 2 or whatever, and then go grab your car and then drive home
Yep.
2.5 hours, 3 hours, and we got that, and then, start
Okay.
figuring everything out.
We'll let you know when we have that service off the ground. But we were thinking about that. Be like, how sweet would it be to land in Tokyo, just have the car ready to go in
Yeah.
your name and rock up to your house. So,
And even if it's not
uh,
their car, like,
yeah,
it's like you have a loaner vehicle that's set up for them, so that way, if they have to go deal with the paperwork of their own car,
yep.
they have a vehicle. Because I was like, "Wait, so I have to go do all this paperwork stuff, and I know you have a great subway system, Japan, but when you live 45 minutes, and you have to go to a registrar's office and you don't really know anything, it forces you to learn it, which is good,
Mhm.
but then on the bad is kinda like kinda nice to just have a vehicle and just be able to have a little that American independence kinda sets in, right?
Yep.
Where the vehicle
Exactly.
defined an American individual as the open road and you can set off. I had my side note, I had a meeting 'cause I'm working on a business visa in
Uh-huh.
Niigata,
Oh,
and I had a meeting with the city, and they thought it was kinda strange. They're like, "You're so far away from the city," and I was like, "No, I enjoy driving, and I want to be in a country more country style." So,
right
What's
on.
the business? 'Cause for business manager visa, you do need like a real business plan. What's
yeah, so my business plan kinda stems on my current business here, so hopefully it's easier to approve just home remodel, and kinda, "Hey, you got a squatty potty? You want it to be Western? You want it to be more move-in ready because you have a bunch of trash in the house, and because the vacant homes have a bunch of stuff."
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but mine is really just meant for maybe Australians that want to rent a place in that area for like 6 months and then just
Let's talk, Eric.
yeah.
That's something we're looking for.
Like,
We need help with that exact thing. We
like
lived with one of those squatty potties for 2 months, so this is interesting. We should definitely connect after this also on how we can work together.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I do construction, so I was kinda like, it seems like the
Yeah.
easiest way to get the visa approved, you know? Do I
We have a
really
lot.
want a smoke shop with smoked meats, But
Would be sick. Would be sick.
What were you saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, as just going on what Taki said, we do have a lot of clients that are looking for some sort of quick renovation, at least converting the squatty potties to a toilet or those type of basic things after they purchase property in Japan. So,
Right. And maybe you want an additional air conditioner because like the one that you get is
yep. Especially English language, like, that seems to be the key criteria we're missing here. So,
right. It's a
most
little bit easier to get the what they want across
Hmm.
to be executed. And we know Western clients want a little bit more counter space in the kitchen, right? Like one additional more cabinet is will
Hmm.
go that much farther and is appeasing your Western needs to have more countertops. Yeah.
Hmm.
or raise the counter. That was something in our Bedford property. The counter was, like, so low.
Oh, yeah, I've
Brushing
experienced
my
that.
teeth, I was hunched over. Yeah.
You're gonna be like, oh, Opasan, like all
Yeah.
hunched
Kind
over.
of.
Uh, yeah. So
All
that I
right.
mean, because the ultimate goal is to be there, and
Hmm.
visit here.
Okay, I didn't realize that. So you plan to be there full time and then visit Minnesota.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask what months of the year you were thinking of being in Japan, but most
Starting
of
off,
them
it'll be
sounds
the
like
starting off, it'll be the winter months because I my busy season in construction in Minnesota is right now, September, October, my busiest, but all through, non-snow season. So that allows me to transition. Like we can go in the wintertime, enjoy the wintertime, do wintertime stuff,
yeah.
and then come back here and make money. That's what I tell everybody. America is made for making money and not retiring, but that's my
Yeah. Yeah. Eric, let's talk about the home buying process. I know we've talked
yeah.
about cars and all this stuff, but do you got give us the timeline? So you started. When did you start? When did you finish? And what was that process like for you?
Gosh, I don't I don't recall the exact date when we had our first meeting,
Let's
but after that date, I started searching and searching and searching, and I found a number of I mean, I was just on your guys's, platform, and I think I started wanting to be closer to where I grew up in Aomori
Mhm.
Prefecture, and I and then I had a meeting with Nick,
Yep.
and he
Nick at
explained
Japan remotely, right?
yeah, Nick at Japan remotely. Yep, and he shed some light on different visas in different areas and kind of how different areas support you getting a visa. And because then I kind of migrated in my search down to Nagano and I found some real awesome cabin and I found another cabin before that. I was really set on like cabin esque remote by skiing and stuff like that. But it came to be very apparent that it was going to be difficult to have car parking at a lot of the cabins.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, more than one, and it would definitely probably a lot of them didn't have it covered, the ones
Right.
that I was looking at, and so then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave it there 6
You're
months
looking
after
Oh, yeah,
uncovered."
yeah, you want a garage. I see.
Yeah, so I really wanted a garage, and then I really was actually trying to find it as a rental unit, my first one, so when I'm not there, I can rent it out and have somebody clean it, maintain it, look after it, but the more remote you get in the woods, it's more difficult to find somebody that'll do it, number
Mhm.
1. And number 2, the municipality of the area or the controlling body doesn't always want the house to be a rental unit. They want it to go to somebody that's gonna own it or live in it or whatever, especially when they're in, like, these controlled cabin places meant for kind of vacation. It's kinda weird.
Mhm.
It's a vacation home, so you'd think can I turn this vacation the Japanese traditional vacation home into an American
Yeah,
vacation.
resort zoned properties have weird restrictions.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to. I was like, "All right, that's gonna be tough. So let's just get a place, and then I'll have roots to figure a lot of the other stuff out." So by all means, this might not be our final one, but it's really awesome, so I think it might be. But, yeah, we're already looking at other places
I
because
think that you
it's
hit on a good advice there. I think people try to like nail the perfect property and that hits all the boxes all at once, and sometimes it stops them from acting. So I
yeah,
think you did a good job. And I'm checking here. We talked to you on June 12th. So
June
three. That's
that's pretty
three
fast.
3 months. Congrats. That's a pretty good
Yeah.
beat on transaction. I think
Good
you
one.
spoke with Joe Yoshi shortly after. Did you go to Japan at all, or did you do this fully?
I
of
did
your
it
home?
full from the house. I haven't been since the winter time. So
Okay.
yeah,
Eric, did you get a building inspection done?
I did not.
Okay, no building inspection. What
I yeah, I'm kind of like
I was
I
curious
love
about the tile roof. You mentioned the tile roof, just, kind of like an
yeah,
older style roof. I was just wondering,
yeah.
yeah,
I
how that
love the challenge, and then part of it is like, oh, if something needs fixing, then I get to learn how to get it done, so that if there is somebody else that's looking at a property and needs it done, I've already done it, right? So I was like, no, in no way is it the worst case scenario because
Mhm.
I'll learn from it.
There you
Um,
go. Good
but
attitude.
yeah, and given that's my main trade is roofing, so I looked at the roofs like
perfect.
more of a I wanted it from an aesthetic point of view, certain
Mhm.
type of roof. So as you go north, you'll notice a lot more smooth, flat metal roofs, right?
Mhm.
And they're just not as
For
aesthetic.
snow, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, for snow, so they can shed, and that's cool. I
What
don't
about
mind
a
it from a looks point.
anything, like, in this whole past 3 months in this process, anything unexpected that came up or any sort of hiccups that you ran into?
Gosh, if there was, I can't even think of what it was.
Okay.
So
Well, that's
Yoshi. Wow,
I
Yoshi's the man.
yeah, I mean, he went once we picked it. I actually picked two places. I think they were about 30 minutes apart from each other, but in Niigata Prefecture. One was $1,000.
what?
It
Okay.
was like $1,200, and I was like, because originally I was like, maybe I'll just buy them both and fix up the one and live in the other. But he went to the other one, and I was like, oh, it's good. I kind of want it, but at the same time, I was like, that one needs a lot of work
Yeah.
to the point where I was like, I don't want that to be my immediate need.
Yep.
And I was like, "So, I'll wait. I'm sure there'll be more." It's not like, there's a finite amount. There is when you look at certain areas that you wanna be in, but in that case, it was $1,000. So I was like, I'll be good. And it was still a pretty awesome property. It was big property, land, driveway, detached, large two-car garage that was probably plenty fine. But I think there might have been, like, a little fire in the attic, and it was just like, I don't really wanna deal with structural stuff. So, I
Mhm.
wanna deal with light cosmetic. So,
It's interesting. We sent a lot of people to Yoshi. We've sent a lot of people at this point, and I was like, "Yoshi, who's been the best client?" And he
yeah,
said you, Eric. So congratulations. He was just like,
He did say
"Eric
that.
is so." He's like, "Eric is so easy. He can do construction. He could do it himself." So you're probably the
yeah,
Yoshi's best client of the year, I would say.
nice.
He
Because 'cause I'm
he's
hoping to bring
respectful.
him some more biz. So, I'm
Yep.
already looking at, like, a $10,000 spot and you got the city just because the visa wants you to have property in the city proper. So, I'm like,
Interesting.
yeah, I just
Oh, is that for an office or just in general, you need property in the city?
with one or the other, you just need it. And because you can classify the house as the office, I figured I'll figure it out later type of deal. It's such a
Mhm.
long yeah, I think the thing to keep in mind, I know my process went really quick, but I would tell people to be patient with
Mhm.
their systems, right?
Yep.
Like when you buy something and he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna mail you the paperwork and the key," don't be in a rush for it, right?
Mhm.
Don't be in a rush for the utilities to be turned on. Just accept that the it's getting done, and be patient. So,
Yeah,
Good good advice.
you know, yeah, they're never not. I don't like to think that they're not working because I mean, some of the hardest working people on the planet. So if you already gave them the direction, if they need something, they let you know. Just let them
Yeah.
do what
You're
they do.
Yoshi's an animal. Like
Yeah,
I don't know how this guy juggles so many things at once. And we're trying to like pick his brain a little bit. Like Yoshi, how do you like stay organized? And he's just like, no, I keep everything in my head. We're like, what?
nice.
Like,
That is the way.
is there
Mhm.
Excel sheet somewhere or like how you project managing? It's like
yeah, he
just in my
was
head.
like all up here.
Have you asked him if he? I'm curious. So as a kid, I did a lot of soda.
Oh, I did Sotoban too.
Yeah, so I have, like, I got casual trophies around here somewhere
Okay.
for my
Sick.
Soda contests, but I wonder because it helps, your just cognitive recall of all these
Yeah.
numbers and things, so I wonder he must have been like a
He's a
Soda
champ.
wizard.
He's
Yeah,
a champ for sure. Interesting. Here's Eric. We've actually had we're actually a couple clients that are going through Yoshi right now are having trouble transferring money. Like, how did you transfer? Or did you use Wise? Did you use
I used
OFX?
Wise. Yep.
Okay.
I used TransferWise, and I did it from my regular bank, my credit union here in town. So I have my credit union linked to TransferWise, and then I sent it. And funny enough, I've already dealt with like starting a company and buying things in China from
Mm,
Alibaba and stuff like that. So I already had Wise set up, probably
okay.
made it even easier. So yeah, if somebody's already thinking about it, I would just, right out the gate, just get your Wise working. And then, yeah, because it probably takes a little while to like verify the bank and all that other nonsense.
Yeah, it's good advice. Did you have a limit? I think there's like might be like a 10K limit, or like did you just transferred it all at once? What was your
Yeah,
situation like?
did it all at once.
Okay.
I think I did it for different things. So like for him to go visit and check it out, I paid him to, hey, hop on the train and go check it out. Like, dude, you're saving me thousands. So yeah, I paid that. And then when we got to purchasing it, I think I had to do a deposit,
Mhm.
deposit amount.
10%.
Yeah, typical. And then I did the final in one chunk. So technically three transactions, but one primary. So, yep,
Cool. Oh, you had such a smooth process. I feel like
Yeah.
everyone we typically ask is like, there's some hiccup here or there.
really.
And maybe it's because you're super patient and understand, how things work a little bit better.
Yep.
I'm curious, like anything that surprised you throughout the process, or was it all pretty straightforward, or anything that scared you? You were like, as you're going through the process with Yoshi.
Uh, Man, I mean, I definitely asked him a number of things like,
Mm,
hey, is there a company that will deliver a dumpster? Because that's what I'm used to over here.
yeah.
Because I mean, you see the house and you're like, all right, I'm getting this house. And I'm like, what am I getting? What's going to be in that house? Right. Like, I already see what's in there, but like, what am I going to do with 60% of the belongings that I don't need? Right. Like, I remember trash is very, we already know trash is already like a faux pas thing in Japan, right? Like you
Hmm.
take your own trash, put it in your own bag, right? Now you're figuring out like, well, where does this go actually?
Yeah.
Because I've never seen
Yeah.
construction dumpsters. Even growing up there, I didn't see it because a lot of
Ah,
times their construction is covered by the walls, right? Where they do
Hmm.
construction, they have their walls up around, so you don't even see
can't
the
see inside.
construction happening. Yeah.
Shit. I
So
don't wanna scare you, but I believe I could be wrong, but I believe I've never seen dumpsters either. I believe you have to buy these, like, little white cloth bags from the hardware store there, and then everything needs to be broken down and then put into those bags. You can't just start chucking stuff into a dumpster like we're
I
used to. You really have to
believe
break
you're
everything
probably
down.
like you're probably right because that's how everything is. Yeah, everything's gonna be everything's a chore, but if you look at it as like everything's an adventure, not a chore,
There
and
we
then you're
go.
like, all right, we can get down with this. And then there's a lot of cool treasures, right? A lot of people say like when you're going through a house, and I mean, there's like a piano with the house, and I'm like, my brother-in-law and
That's cool.
sister play piano, so I'm like, all right, I guess I'll probably keep it. I don't know. Otherwise, getting rid of a piano, like, what
Yeah,
do you
you gotta break it down.
down in the white bags?
Yeah.
Let us know. We'll do a follow-up podcast on trash with you post
Yeah, for
once you're
sure.
deep in it. But here's how long was this Akia abandoned for? Or like what's the story? Did you get the story?
I did not. Well, they said I get a story. I guess,
Okay.
yeah, if we're gonna believe it.
Okay.
The story is it was an elderly couple's vacation home. And I'm
Okay.
like, looks like their primary home. But they gave me like a certificate, or I don't know if it's like a form that says nobody has ceased to live in your
Okay.
home. And I was like, all right, cool. Make me feel better. But at the same time, yeah, there's some belongings in there that you're like, you didn't take that.
Oh.
That's,
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Like, that's just strange, but
They
okay.
they've got a legal obligation to tell you if the last person that owned it died in the house, but
Yeah. I knew
before
the
that, there's no
last.
legal obligation.
Right. And then when I think this property, I think it was on the market maybe a year. It had hung out there for maybe 300 to 400 days. I think I recall correctly. And the other thing is, I think it was owned by a company prior to my sale. So I don't know if like they put it in a company name, so they handle the transaction,
Mm.
or if some like a company bought it or what. because I didn't actually deal with like, you
The
know,
sellers.
Seller, yeah.
seller. Yeah. So it makes you wonder, like, wait, if you do that, does that mean that they can say that they've never died in it? And then
Yes.
the previous people could have, right?
Yes.
You got the priest coming. You're all good. You're all good.
I got the Shinto
All
priest
demons are
calling.
out.
And there's
Nope.
3 houses down. It's a beautiful shrine. He's coming.
How close
Okay.
are the neighbors?
Oh, they're on top. I mean, they're, typical. This house
Okay,
right
yeah.
next to each
Yep.
other. Yeah, I got a wall, and then I got a yard, and I'm hoping that if I put in a greenhouse and talk nicely with my neighbors, they might use it when I'm not there, just to kinda be like, "Hey, it's additional growing area as you need until I get back." I gotta just make friends, right?
Mhm.
Everybody's just make
It's
friends
good.
with. So,
All right. You
Good
putting some
idea.
koi fish in that koi pond? Is that going to
yeah.
happen?
I
For
think because I'm really hoping to run an aquaponics system in
awesome.
the greenhouse.
Okay.
So if that is successful, then yes, we'll definitely be successful with fish. So,
Damn man, you're an inspiration. This is you're the true Akiya buyer that I think Japan needs here, and I think you're gonna be helping neighbors, helping the ecosystem.
that was my pitch to my visa meeting too. I was like, hey man, I'm not trying to change anything about Japan. I'm just trying to exist, and be a friendly neighbor. So yeah.
Cool. All right. One piece of advice you'd give to any person in that's considering buying Nokia or in the process, anything. Yeah. And what advice would you give them or give to your previous self even at the start of this process?
Mm, figure out what you love about Japan the most, and or maybe there's 5 things. Figure out those 5 things you love about Japan the most, and then try and isolate the area that supports those 5 things. So from a lifestyle and location balance, right?
Mhm.
I mean, if you're purely looking for snow adventure and that is it, and you're focused and it's not going to be a full-time thing, then, Northern Japan slash Hokkaido is probably the best fit, right?
Mhm.
But if you're going with like, hey, I'm gonna family or different, I just like the safety or I like the food or something like that. Fun fact: Niigata is known for the best rice in all of Japan. So
Really?
I'm a foodie at heart, so I'm already looking forward to and I've never even been to Niigata. But I feel that I've been to Akita Prefecture and Sendai and all the other ones up there. So I'm like,
Yeah. That was like
close.
me. We bought in Beppu. I'd never been to Beppu before, never been to Kyushu before. I was like,
Hey,
I think I know the Japanese smaller cities. Like,
You have enough trust and faith in like what you know about everything else that you
yeah,
can make that informed decision. And but then a part of Beppu, right? Like you find the right property and the right everything else, and you're like, it's an adventure, right? Like
mhm.
you really can't go wrong.
Okay.
I'll die on that sword. I don't think you can buy
that
the wrong spot.
I think
So
that was like the line that me and Taka used to like way back a year, almost 2 years ago when we were like first discussing this. We're like, I don't think we can go wrong. Like, even if like we don't want to be at the house or whatever, like the house is
yeah,
gonna dump, and then like we would have learned so much. Like we would have, you know, gone back to Japan, had this adventure. Like, can't go wrong here.
yeah. And I mean, I'm on your guys' website, gosh, at least weekly, but probably every other day, just looking at other places.
It's addicting.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, put you on the spot, but
Yep.
I feel like there might be more listings that are not on AkiyaMart, but that don't even exist. Like there's more houses, if you will, not listings, but more houses
Definitely.
available, but they don't show up. And it's like, how do you
100%.
guys get those? Yeah, like that's on you, not me. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I want you guys to get more so I can
Like,
search more.
what we scraped 2 websites, 2 Japanese real estate websites, but there are
Mhm.
more, there's more
Regional
websites
ones
out
and
there,
stuff like
and
that.
then there's the Akiya
Akia
Bank,
banks. Yeah.
there's off-market
Oh,
listings, so, like, yeah, there's much more than we have than we're showing, so, And that's for the advanced searcher, though. I feel
It
like.
is, okay, yeah, and you're like, because there's been some times where I've hit up Yoshi like, "Hey, can you send me some business listings, like, for business addresses and stuff like that?"
Yep.
But there
Yeah.
it's different.
We
Actually,
got
the
more
best
stuff.
business listing that I found is so far is not from what Yoshi sent me, but one that is on AkiyaMart, and it's really nice, but I actually reached out. I actually had Yoshi like, "Hey, see if they'll sell it or whatever, see what the deal is." And they were like, "Oh, we're interested in selling it, but we don't you can hire Yoshi, but they don't want you to work through him. They wanted to work directly, and then
Yeah.
he would
Yeah.
kind of be the assistant in the
So you
Big
gotta
matter."
problem.
double end the deal.
Which is so if you just want more money, then just say that, you know? Like that's because that's all it does, right?
Yeah, curious. I mean, we're saying it's been happening to us where, again, a lot of these Akiyas, a lot of the sellers are greedy in that they want both sides of the commission,
Oh, yeah.
but they just aren't capable of dealing with foreigners. So that it just like goes unsold. In
Yeah.
that situation where, how would you feel if,
It's the
so
seller's agent, by the way, not the seller. It's the
Oh, yeah,
agent.
seller's
Yeah.
agent is greedy. So in this
Yeah.
situation, we've been telling people we're helping that in these situations, you might have to pay a double commission so that Yoshi gets paid.
Right.
Would that deter you from a property? I mean, of course, it's more money or given, yeah, that's kind of the situation we're in with a couple folks.
I don't think it would deter me if it's the property like this one, when he approached me and told me about it, I was
Mhm.
like, I was more standoffish by the fact that like, "Oh, wait a second. I don't want to try and do this without Yoshi."
Exactly.
So, I don't mind paying Yoshi, 100%. Like, sure, you
Mhm.
can bill me on the front end if you wanted Yoshi, like, or bill me hourly or however you wanna work it. And then for them, I think the decent thing would be to do is go, "Hey, we want a double-ended deal, but we're gonna do 1.5." You know? So
Yeah.
if you're getting a 6%, let's do 4.5 instead of
Yeah.
doing 3 or something like that.
Totally.
But now with the rules around, basically $3,000 for
For the
minimum or
minimum
whatever.
commission. Mhm.
Yeah, or maybe 2,000 yen rate, whatnot. But yeah, I don't gosh, it's not that bad of a fee, I guess, that
Yeah.
doesn't wreck it for me. It just kind of feels kinda dirty. Like you said, they got a little
Exactly.
greedy. And you're okay with a
Exactly.
little bit of greed, but double? Come on.
Exactly. That's the problem we face right now. There's all these places, but they just can't deal with foreigners, and it's just like, all right, no one.
And then we're bringing our guy
Yeah,
that can deal with the foreigner, but
exactly.
you guys don't want you don't want him to get
Exactly.
any bit of the commission?
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if you said, "Hey, he gets 1 point," but they have rules, so he'd have to get that.
Y- Yep. Exactly. Well, Eric, you're a vet now. We look forward to your next purchases. And actually, Yoshi sent us an off-market deal in Myoko. I don't know if you'd be interested, but maybe
Where's Miyoko?
Myoko is
Almost.
Nagano
Oh,
ski.
it is. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll send
I
we'll
was
send you the
originally
listing.
working there as well. My mom, she mentioned, I asked her a while back, what was your favorite area in Japan? She traveled way more in Japan than I got to. And she said Nagano was her absolute favorite prefecture. So, uh,
10K next to a cemetery, so definitely need some shrine
shrine blessings going on.
blessings, but it
Yeah.
it looks great next to great snow. We'll send it over to you.
Oh, I always
But
love looking at things. Yeah.
yeah, other than that, man, we're stoked for you. This is so exciting. You're the right person. I think a lot of things you said today will resonate with our listeners.
Yeah.
You know, Joey, anything from you or Eric? Any last words for our audience here?
For the audience, oh man, just do it. You know,
There we go.
I
There we
mean,
go.
that is the truth, man. In the matter, it feels so good that you want to do it again. Like,
Oh
uh,
yeah, it's a drug,
like,
right?
yeah, it really is. I mean, I buy dumb things up until now, so I've actually been downsizing. So so when I sell one thing, I'm like looking at it differently now that I
Mhm.
own a home at this price point. I I literally sold one of my watches to pay for the
Mhm.
house.
Okay.
So it's kind of dumb that you'd own a watch that is worth that much, but I was like, oh, the watch doesn't do me any good. But a home in Japan is endless opportunities and adventures. You can drive hours and be in a whole nother ecosystem and people and different and culture. Even though it's Japan, it's the same culture, but it's different.
Yeah.
So the only other thing I was going to ask you guys is when you might be around. Are you guys going to be in the winter or?
So we have 3 houses now. So we have Beppu, Tokyo, and Kitakyushu. So we're coming around end of this month. We'll be back hopefully in winter time. We should definitely come up and visit you. I want
Yeah,
some rice.
you don't have especially if you don't have a ski resort near you guys yet.
We're missing the ski factor. So this is keep an eye out for other neighborhood houses.
Yep.
We'd be interested, Eric.
I was literally asking Yoshi if the house next door, because I was looking at Google Street View and I was like, is that house next door empty? Because I'll take it if it is. My sister, side note, my sister grew up with me, obviously, but and her husband, my brother-in-law, he's Japanese, so he speaks for the most part pretty fluently. He grew up on the military base too. He's just that he's half Japanese, half American.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like trying to convince them, like, hey, once I get this all settled, you should just come on over.
Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah.
Exactly.
I work well. We're super glad everything worked with Yoshi. Just a plug for us. We have a full program now. Eric, you are our guinea pig. It seems like things went well, and we have a couple more folks in the process. So yeah, and we'll tap you for hopefully construction stuff, ski stuffs, rice stuff, car
Look
stuff
forward to
too.
it. Yeah, look forward to it, my guys.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Eric.
All right.
All right. Take care.